The year is 1984. The setting is the sleepy town of Boring, Oregon. And our story begins with a man named Johnny Doom. Johnny is the DJ for the local radio station, KBU. It is the kind of place where the jocks are as bland as their alliterative station name would suggest. But Johnny has big dreams. He wants to be more than just another vapid radio host. He wants to make a difference. And what better way to do that than by taking late-night calls from weirdos? One such weirdo called in around midnight. His name was Robert, and he sounded very scared. Robert told Johnny that he had just moved into an old house on the outskirts of town with his wife and kids. He said the house had a bad reputation, that people in town called it the Devil's Playhouse because 3 people had died there in mysterious circumstances. He also said that strange things had been happening ever since he moved in, like shaking pictures on the wall and whispers in the dead of night. But the most terrifying thing Robert told Johnny was that he could feel an evil presence in the house with him, something that seemed to grow stronger every night. By the time the clock struck 12, Robert was in a panic. Then he began to scream as he described seeing a ghastly white figure standing at the foot of his bed. Johnny tried to calm him down, but Robert insisted that he had to leave the house right then and there. So Johnny helped him make a plan. They agreed that Robert would call back if he made it out okay, but Johnny never heard from him again. He chalked it up to another wacky late-night call and went back to his video game. That was when the hairs on the back of his neck stood up and the phone began to ring. Johnny picked up the receiver, and on the other end was Robert. Only now his voice sounded different, older, like an antique phonograph. Then Johnny noticed something else. The caller ID said the call was coming from within the station itself. Thinking it was a prank, he hung up. But the line was still active, and as he listened, he heard a scratching sound followed by a raspy voice that said, "Hello." Johnny froze as he realized that the voice was coming from the speakers in his headphones. And when he took them off, he saw a mist forming around the room, growing thicker and more opaque by the second. Terrified, he ran for the hills, but the ghostly apparition soon enveloped him completely. Some say Johnny was never seen again. Others claim he vanished along with the radio station, which mysteriously went off the air that night. What happened next remains a mystery, but we can make some educated guesses. When Johnny took the call from Robert, he was listening through his headphones, which means the ghost could have been broadcasting its voice directly into his ear. This would explain how Robert sounded so distorted like an old record player. It would also explain how Johnny could see the mist forming around him. After all, ghosts need somewhere to manifest in the physical world. Perhaps they were using the radio waves as a guide, allowing them to appear wherever Johnny was at that very moment. So why did the ghost call Johnny in the first place? Well, there could be many reasons. Maybe it wanted help solving a mystery, like the whereabouts of its long-lost body. Maybe it was lonely and just wanted someone to talk to. After all, being dead for hundreds of years can get pretty tiring. Whatever the reason, it seems the ghost got what it wanted because the last entry on the log for KBU listed a special guest on air, none other than Robert the Ghost. Now this might be where the story ends, but let's play out a little scenario for fun. Imagine that Johnny wasn't so quick to hang up the phone. What if he had pressed Robert for more information? Would the ghost have revealed its true identity? Perhaps even shared some cryptic warnings about the dangers of the Devil's Playhouse. And what if Johnny, intrigued by the mysterious mist and the possibility of a good story, decided to investigate further? Would he have found any clues in the station that pointed to Robert's ultimate demise? Maybe a dusty journal or a hidden photograph? The possibilities are endless. But one thing is for sure, the ghost was only getting started. To hear more chilling tales of the paranormal, stay tuned for more stories. Until then, remember, some doors are best left unopened. Some secrets are best left buried. And some calls are best left unanswered.